Hello, Grizzly football fans, and welcome to another edition of Griz Tracks. I'm AJ Mazzolini here.
And I'm Bill Speltz, beat writer for Griz Football.
And the Griz are a game now into the season, having just played Wyoming, the big FBS team down there on the road in Laramie. And there were some certainly good things and some definitely bad things that came out of that game. Let's start on the positive side, though. The Grizzly defense looked like they were really able to wrangle the Cowboys at times.
Definitely, AJ. We knew going in that their defensive line was going to be tough, and they really held their own against an FBS line there. The very physical Wyoming offensive line, and they tried to push them around. And early in the game, it looked like they were going to be able to do that. They marched the ball down, and they ended up settling for a field goal. But Montana made some nice adjustments.
Right. That second quarter was really all Grizzly defense.
Yeah, credit defensive coordinator Ty Gregorak and that defensive line. They've got good depth up there, and I think that helps too.
Yeah, for sure. Limiting an FBS team to only 17 points, usually a good thing, gives you a chance to win, but the Grizzly offense was not really up to the same standard.
No, disappointing. You could tell even in the scrimmages for Montana they were having trouble running the ball, and that continued. Jordan Canada, a good running back, and just no room to run. And the passing game, I happen to think that Jordan Johnson, Montana's Dynamite senior quarterback, had a little trouble with the elevation. Just my opinion that the ball was sailing on him a little bit on a few of those intermediate routes. But anyway, a lot of those guys weren't open too, so that always hurts the passing percentage.
And the Grizz do get 2 offensive touchdowns out of that game, but neither of them by your, normal standard. Both of them had a little bit of trickery involved.
Right, and it was easy to see that on the double reverse pass for the first touchdown. What I learned after the game is that their second touchdown was actually one of those tackle-eligible plays where tight end Mike Ralston told the official that he would be lining up at tackle, but an eligible receiver. And Wyoming must have just kind of spaced that out because he was wide open in the middle there.
Yeah, and we ended up with a 17-12 final score, and 12 not usually a big football number for scores, and that's because that kicking game, which everyone has kind of worried about, did in fact have some issues on the opening day. First touchdown comes with a missed extra point, kind of a bad snap maybe, but also off the upright, so some issues there still.
Definitely, and it's funny how that one missed extra point can kind of set the course for the whole game, but it changes the way Montana plays. Their second touchdown, they go for 2 and miss a 2-point conversion. You think, well, if they get both those extra points, then it's a 17-14 game when they get the ball, and all they have to do is get in field goal position. But then they have to make the field goal, so hopefully they can get that worked out.
Very true, and then they got a whole lot of guys there trying to kick, and none of them doing it satisfactorily at this point, at least.
Yeah, it seems to be the one that's going to do the field goal kicking this week, according to Coach Mick Delaney, is Harrison Greenberg, and to me, he's got the 2 other kickers have stronger legs, Chris Leiter and Daniel Sullivan, but Harrison was a little more accurate in fall camp, so we'll see.
And even that would be great. You don't need a strong leg to kick the extra point. Just got to get it down the middle. Hopefully they can save themselves a couple points there. Maybe not as necessary to be saving as many points, but with this week's opponent, not quite as tough of a test. The home opener here on Saturday.
Yeah, AJ, my guess is that they'll be able to run the football this week, with their big line against Central Washington, and it's going to be fun defensively to see how they match up. The team that they're playing is going to use the no huddle, some spread, and some read option. It's just going to be. I think it's going to be a fun game to watch, and I happen to think that it might be a little bit closer than what most folks anticipate. As Coach Delaney said, they're no panhandle state. They're a solid Division II team, and they'll come out wanting to win.
Yeah, but still probably helpful to have that offense maybe get a chance to really get flowing as opposed to getting stuffed and stopped and having to punt over and over again. So that'll be a helpful thing to maybe give those guys some confidence and see what they can start doing once they get clicking.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I think it'll be a good day for Jordan Johnson and the rest of the receivers there. It'll be interesting to see who Coach Delaney holds out for this game.
Right.
Whether because that'll tell you just how much emphasis he's placing on it. There's a couple of guys that get dinged up. Matt Hermanson, their best returning tackler, got dinged up late in the Wyoming game. He came back into play, but you wonder about him. You wonder about offensive.
He doesn't have to play. You don't play him.
Right,
So, yeah,
exactly. Same
yeah.
thing with Ellis Henderson. And see if he'll take the week off.
Yeah, and again, we have kind of a bizarre start time on that one, so don't forget about 3:30 p.m. here on Saturday at Washington-Grizzly Stadium will be that game, Montana versus Central Washington, a Division II team. Stay tuned for more Griz Tracks every week. Thursday nights, our videos going upline to keep you updated and keep up with the Griz with the Missoulian in print and at Missoulian.com. Thanks for tuning in.